myself. There's no way I can do all that. If only I could cast a spell to make myself accomplish all that. And then I remembered a book I found in the attic. It was called the Book of Ceremonial Magic. I found the perfect spell I need to make my wishes vain. First, kill a goat, then separate its head, dispose of the body, then ask a virgin to fill a pot with precious stones. Submerge your head in poison honey, then set fire to all your money. Eat a snail, then pluck a quail. Don't miss a step, or then you'll fail. God, is it worth it to learn magic to accomplish their quarantine goals? Yeah, that's all totally doable. I seem to have a wealth of time resting in my eager palms to do the things I've always wanted to. Like learning Spanish and German too, or how to make my own ragu sauce. I'll study Faulkner, I'll study Bach, I'll watch The Wire finally, and I'll learn to dance. But now I'm overwhelmed myself. There's no way I can do all that. If only I could cast a spell to make myself accomplish all that. And then I remembered book I found in the attic. It was called the Book of Ceremonial Magic. I found the perfect spell I need to make my wishes vain. First, kill the goat, then separate its head, dispose of the body, then ask a virgin to fill a pot with precious stones. Submerge your head in poison honey, then set fire to all your money. Eat a snail, then pluck a quail. Don't miss a step, or then you'll fail. God, is it worth it to do dark magic to accomplish their quarantine goals? Yeah, that's all totally doable. You don't. I seem to have a wealth of time resting in my eager palms to do the things I've always wanted to. Like learning Spanish and German too, or how to make my own ragu.
Hello and welcome to National Quarantine Live. My name is Harrison Greenbaum and I'm your host, and we're so excited that you could join us. Tonight's episode, we're going to be taking all the money that we raise and donating it to 1 billion masks. We're trying to get masks in the hands of healthcare workers in New York and around the globe. So we're really, really excited to be doing our part. We have an incredible lineup of comedians. And speaking of masks, Melania Trump actually posted a video recently in which she urged people to wear masks, despite the fact that her husband, Donald Trump, has repeatedly said he will not. In his 60-second PSA, Melania is not wearing, nor does she put on a mask, which is a little bit like starting an anti-bullying campaign while being married to the president. Let's pull up a little bit of a, there we go, perfect, a little. Cool. Let's pull up. There's a screenshot from the actual video, not wearing a mask whatsoever. And it's weird. It's weird for her to be doing this PSA without wearing a mask. You think that would be a thing? It would be kind of like asking Magic Johnson for advice on how to avoid getting a virus, which evidently he's doing. Evidently that is what he's doing. That's how dire things have gotten. Our entire timeline has a collapse upon itself. And now Magic Johnson is giving people advice on how not to get a deadly virus. What's next? People are going to book more cruises for 2021 than they did for 2020, despite them being all horror shows. Okay, we deserve what we get. We absolutely deserve what we get. Donald Trump, by the way, when he's not obsessed with not wearing a mask, is obsessed with everybody else wearing scarves.
if people wanted to use scarves, which they have, many people have them, they can. In many cases, the scarf is better. It's thicker. I mean, you can, if you, depending on the material, it's thicker.
To be clear, none of what he said is true. Scarves are not better because they're thicker. The only thing thick here is his head. But yeah, his obsession with scarves now kind of, I guess that means that the safest place to be during the coronavirus is Steven Tyler of Aerosmith's microphone. I do. By the way, if scarves really are that useful in this health crisis, don't use any of Ivanka Trump's. This is very true. This is from 4 years ago.
And there's another Trump making headlines. Scarves from Ivanka Trump's fashion collection have been recalled for being extremely flammable.
Yeah, if there was ever a more perfect metaphor for what Trump represents, it's the fact that everybody in his family is saying something, everything they say is wrong and hurtful, and everything ends with everything on fire and everybody but them getting hurt. But yeah, Steven Tyler, by the way, the scarfiest of scarf people. And I think it's great. It's great that Donald Trump is obsessed with scarves because now it increases the number of things Donald Trump and Steven Tyler have in common to 3. Check that out. The first 2 are weird face and for some reason featured in a Disney ride. That's just a fact, everybody. By the way, if you're following along with us live, thank you so much. We can see your comments on Instagram, Twitter, and on Facebook. You can also, on our YouTube channel, youtube.com/National Lampoon. We have people saying hi. Hi, Mark. Steve Christian saying, or Barney's. And somebody said, I've heard thicker is better. What do scarves have to do with it, though? Fair enough, Mick. We appreciate you joining. And we do have a drinking game. If you'd like to drink along with us, the word of the night is mask. There you go. That is holiday. That was last week's, last episode's one. That's okay. But the word of the night is mask. Every time you hear mask, we want you to drink along with us. I've brought along Corona Seltzer. Did you know that Corona has absolutely expanded their brand? Yes, Corona Seltzer. They're not our sponsor, but they could be. Yeah, see, Corona beer. It's not like our brand image can get any worse. They're doing seltzer now. Let's see. Let's taste it. Let's see how it is. It's a mango. Definitely can taste all that Corona goodness. The beer, not the virus. We're really good with sponsorships. Please sponsor us. We're trying to raise money for charity. Speaking of charity, our first guest is a very special guest. He is the founder of the COVID Foundation, a million masks, which is trying to get 1 million masks to people in New York City, and 1 billion masks, which is trying to get these masks worldwide. He's also a good friend of mine from college and a true hero. So make some noise, get excited for Ben Wee, everybody. Come on.
Hey! I just have to leave my example. You shade me. You shade Melania Trump. I won't let you shade me. I'm going to be wearing a mask.
Yeah, don't wear one of Ivanka's because they go on fire evidently. Yours, I assume, do not.
These are FDA approved. No certified. We're good. Yeah, we're
cool.
good.
I hope that one gets cleaned. Is that when you reuse them? Is that okay?
Well, I don't have to deal with COVID-19 patients all day, so I try to be environmentally friendly when I can while still being safe. So it's really that.
And by the way, I want to introduce the virtual audience because we have people tuning in from all over the country. We have Brooklyn in the house.
Hey, what's up?
Canada. And we also have, let's see, we have, that's all we have for our virtual audience at the moment. But Brooklyn and Canada, so that's worldwide. I think that's pretty great.
East Coast, West Coast.
Yes, and Brooklyn is already drinking. Every time we say mass, we drink along. So I have a feeling by the end of our conversation, Ben, people will be dead.
You're welcome. You're welcome all.
Yes, Vancouver's eating. I think that's very nice. That's a very good way of tuning along. Thank you guys for tuning in. Ben, we met in college. That's why, obviously, you got the memo to wear the same thing that I'm wearing.
That's right. This is a uniform.
Harvard uniform. And do you remember the first time we met? I think it's an embarrassing story, but I think I remember the first time.
Oh, completely. I think it was pre-flash weekend. We were all like prepubescent 17-year-olds, just barely have gone through puberty. And I think it was by like John Harvard statue. You set up camp, and I walked by, and there's just a throng of people encircling you. And you, at that time, had a fancy gadget called like a cell phone. and you were playing like this is how old we are, by the way. It's like one of those flip phones that you have to like type like 4 buttons just to get like a letter out, right? And then you were doing this trick where you had like a card that would like disappear but show up on the phone. And then I was like, this dude had the best scam going on because all the ladies were just there eating out of your hand. I was like, I gotta take some notes. I gotta take like this is why you go to Harvard. This is why you go to Harvard. People get in Harvard because they create elaborate phone tricks to meet lady friends.
Yeah, for now, you're watching. It was not super elaborate. I just made the wallpaper of my phone a card, and then somebody would choose a card, and I'd be like, technology.
And that just goes to show Harvard kids we're not that bright. We really aren't. It's all the brand. It's all the brand. We get fooled easily. It's good to see that.
You put your education to good use. I just do dick jokes, so my parents are thrilled. But you
sophisticated dick jokes. Sophisticated dick jokes.
Very sophisticated. There are references to the folklore mythology class I took despite my parents not wanting me to.
Yeah.
They loved it. They loved it. My first semester, they said, "What are you reading?" Expecting like really exciting books. And I literally was reading Peter Pan for my childhood and literary culture class, which was essentially just fairy tales.
I mean, it's very apropos to your life. Hey, Harrison has not grown up, right? He's Peter Pan in the flesh. He looks the same as he did in college. So yeah.
No, I appreciate this. I brought you on to support your charity, and you came on to roast me. I thought it seems very fair.
Absolutely. We got to give the audience what they want, We got to give the audience what they want, obviously.
And by the way, the Venmo right there is Nat Lamp Mask. You can also donate by going to their website, which is covid.cm. covid.cm. And by the way, we've already gotten a bunch of donations. Let's see who we got. We have Eddie Seslowski donated $25. We appreciate that. The broadcast had just started, so thank you, Eddie. We really appreciate that.
Here's to Eddie.
Yeah. Here, I'll say mask just to make it happen.
Mask. Eddie, that's is 5 masks, 5 N95 respirators. These are KN, but very, very similar. These are the ones that have a special filtration. They call it melt blown filament. And so the virus it exists in such a way that the viruses are about 0.3 microns, and these special masks will block anything getting through. Much like Harrison's game during college, all the ladies were just blocked out, couldn't get through his dorm room.
That sounds about right. Magic is actually a fantastic barrier to prevent women from getting anywhere near you. That's what I always found. So what did you do before all this math stuff?
Yeah, I was in tech. I was doing product and I was an entrepreneur building tech companies. I ran a platform called Nova. We were a marketplace for social influencers, people who had large followings on social media, who more likely than not were of runway fashion type individuals. Yeah.
Wait, so what is harder, convincing a model to join your platform or getting masks to healthcare workers? Or is it a toss-up?
Yeah, it's a hard thing to say. I will tell this, like getting masks in general is a challenge. Yeah, like there's a global shortage. Like when we do this, and I never in a million years thought I'd wake up one day and be like, let me talk to China at 3 a.m. and figure out this global supply chain problem and help a hospital in like Queens procure masks in the middle of like in the middle of Shanghai, China, right? And it's crazy. Like I was sharing this story with you that we'd be on the phone and it would be like 2-3 a.m. here, 2 p.m. in Chinatown, and we'll have a representative on the ground at the factory trying to just hand over money, like a suitcase full of cash almost. It wasn't actually a suitcase, it was, a bunch of papers, but it felt like it was a suitcase, and trying to put in a bid for us because, every day prices were going up. And, it's a dogfight, sharp elbows in the parking lot, people just pushing over each other because everyone wants to get their bid in. And out walks this, Iranian billionaire, resplendent in white garb, and just said, sorry, gentlemen and ladies, I've purchased this entire factory for the country of Iran. All masks will be going to Iran now. Yeah. So
did he have like a tiger on a chain and a very attractive lady, but with a severe haircut, holding an M15?
Well, all wearing masks, of course.
Oh, gotcha.
All wearing masks, of course. Yeah.
That's crazy. So so not only are you fighting to get the masks, and then you're also distributing them, right? So you're doing that by hand, essentially.
That's right. That's right. So we have a great. So I'll explain. We have COVID-19 was a foundation, and kind of our vision for that is the same way that the AIDS Foundation was for AIDS, trying to help solve it at all of its various touch points in the local community, as well as ultimately trying to help researchers move their science forward. We want to do the same thing. And we have a couple different programs. One of our programs is a Billion Mask campaign, which is to help really solve what we call the PPE crisis. PPE for you, Harrison, means very different than PPE for everybody else. PPE in general society is personal protective equipment.
What do you think it means?
This is it after midnight yet? No, I can't say.
I feel like the implication is that you think I pee on everybody. I think that's what you think PPE means for me, is that I pee.
Where's my R. Kelly meme gift? Where's this R. Kelly gift that I can just play right now? Smash that button. Smash that button. No, but yeah. So like so as part of a campaign, we fundamentally started with an organization called A Million Masks, and that's how it all got started. My co-founders and I, launched A Million Masks to raise money on GoFundMe, and we got emergency PPE, primarily these masks, because these are the number one thing that has a shortage around the world, and we get them into the hands of hospital workers. We've already delivered more than 10,000 masks, and are working really hard to bring more into this country. We've supplied over 20 hospitals now, and so that's us as a volunteer organization. To answer your question more, kind of generally about delivering these masks, like we as an organization are on the grounds. We have volunteers and have done in the past, just activating volunteers who meet with these doctors and nurses outside of their hospitals, so that nobody's in danger, and hand these masks over. These days, it's actually a team of other volunteers called PPE to NYC. They're med students who can traverse between the civilian world and the medical world and take on that liability, so that our volunteers aren't kind of put in the harm's way. But I still continue to do it because I like to live dangerously, I guess. But honestly, it's really touching. It's really touching. Like you hear these stories of these doctors and nurses, and they are, I say this a lot. I haven't cried more in the past. I've cried more in the past 2 weeks than I've cried in the past 10 years. Right? Like it's just they tell you stories. Devastating. Like how their ICUs are devastated.
Of watching the new Pixar movie a couple of days ago.
Yeah. Don't
do that. Because the combination of COVID and a Pixar movie meant I had to justify my tears. My girlfriend knows I don't have allergies that bad. She knows why it's happening.
She's with you because she knows you're secure in your masculinity and your emotions. You're in touch with it. That's why she's with you.
Oh no, I have the beard. That's just many of the steps I take to try to ensure to people.
I'm really jealous, by the way. When I try to grow a beard, it's like two straight lines, it's just straight whiskers.
So that's the growth. I assume you haven't shaved since the beginning of Corona. I assume that is your quarantine beard.
That's right. I've been growing this since I was 18.
Nice.
How's it coming along?
And I could not be prouder of you. It's amazing. We went to college together. I'm still doing magic tricks and bad jokes, and you're literally getting protective gear into the hands of the medical workers that need them the most. So amazing stuff that you're doing. Thank you so much. We are so happy to be helping in whatever way we can. And we would love to have you back. Would you come back and hang with us?
Yeah, I'll do. I'll work on my type 5. I'll work on my type 5.
Yeah,
and I'll come back.
Absolutely.
But I'll say this to all the people who are donating. If you go on a GoFundMe, it's the average check size is $100, and sometimes we get donations of $3, $5, $8. And these individuals who are donating $3, $5, $8, they're not doing it because they're being frugal. They're doing it because that's all they can afford, right? They're doing it because that's their way of contributing. And so I'm an average New Yorker. I'm not a doctor. I'm not a researcher. And I said, I need to do something. I just can't sit at my apartment all day and throw my shoes at the TV out of rage. I got to do something. And so for everybody who feels like they want to do something, we want to be that vehicle for you. And we express that to our doctors and nurses and healthcare workers that it is with your donation that we're spreading this hope to them. And if you hop onto our Instagram, A Million Masks on Instagram, you'll be able to see kind of the stories that these doctors are telling and what it means to them to get these masks. So I thank you The COVID-19 Foundation thanks you, and the doctors and nurses of New York City thank you. So
I appreciate it. I have a feeling your type 5 might not kill as much as Corona, but we're both trying to stop different things. Ben, mwah, I love you, brother.
Yeah,
and I'll talk to you soon. Thank you so much. Ben, everybody, from COVID.cm, the COVID Foundation. You can donate Venmo us at Nat Lamp Masks. Every single penny you donate will go towards making sure that the healthcare workers on the front line get the PPE that they need. So let's bring in our first comedian guest. She's coming all the way to us from Chicago, I believe. Let's hear it for Emma Jane, everybody.
Hey, how's it going?
How you doing, Emma?
I'm good. I'm actually in New York, but
Okay,
I
great. Normally in
we're in
Chicago.
grew up in Chicago, live in New York now.
Nice. And
Yeah.
I like the lighting. It feels it's like you're ready to take like a hinge pick.
Okay, yeah. It's like the room got dark, the lighting got a little fuzzy and weird, but we're rolling with it. It's like intentional. It's like soft and like moody, right?
No, I love it. And you know what's so funny is I didn't realize that I had seen your work before, but we were talking about, you were sending me over your credits, and I remember loving your performance on Jimmy Fallon. I didn't put two and two together. There's the battle of songwriters, and you did the Panera Bread. And as soon as you did that song, I was like, oh, she's gonna win. That's
Thank you.
How does that happen? I imagine you don't accidentally end up in the audience on the exact day that they need fantastic comedy songwriters.
Basically, you walk in and they give you a prompt and you literally have an hour to write it. And so they give it to you on a piece of paper. They stick you in a room and give you instruments. And they're like, all right, go. It's kind of nuts, but it's kind of like how you work out if you're a songwriter. Like, it's like the equivalent of like lifting weights. It's like, okay, do this really hard thing, but it's a song.
Yeah, I have a friend who's a juggler, and he would do bowling ball before he got to the little balls.
Yes, exactly.
That's more impressive.
This is the songwriter's bowling ball for sure.
Well, Emma, I would love for you to show off your songwriting and singing ability. Do you have a song that you could sing for everybody?
I would love to. This is a song for my one-woman show. And Corona, I feel like we're spending... Oh, it's called Gay Late Bloomer because some of us come out a little late, and that's okay. And I guess 23 isn't late or 2022 wasn't late, but I work with LGBTQ youth and they come out like so early. So I feel a little late to the game. So this is kind of my response. And also I've just been spending so much time alone during Corona that you kind of learn things about yourself and you learn kind of how much of an idiot you are. So this song is about that, if that's okay.
No, awesome. Take it away.
Okay. Here we go. This is embarrassing. I thought Stonewall was the same thing as Stonehenge. I'm afraid to admit. And I thought Stonehenge was those Easter Island heads. Oh God, I'm such a piece of shit. But I never got to take queer theory or gender studies back at school. I was more concerned with wearing 2 sports bras and tricking guys into thinking I had boobs. No. I thought Stonewall was the same thing as Stonehenge. I'm afraid to admit. And it took me until my sophomore year of college to say that I'm a feminist. So to all my seasoned lesbians, I hate to be a pain. Hold my hand, be patient with me. I've got some things that need explaining. Slater, how to scissor, why we gotta cuff our sleeves. Jenny Schechter, hater lover, carabiners for our keys. Undercuts, stem versus stud, where to get pierced beside your nose. See a hot guy on the street, do you acknowledge that he's hot? Or pretend to just not know you're a gay late bloomer? All the signs are there, gay late bloomer. You're
sister, they won't care. No late bloomer, darling, what you waiting for? Can't be me. I like guys, can't be me. I just love boys, can't be me. I like girls, but don't make a big deal out of it. Oh, give me some more.
Thank you. And that was that.
That was awesome, Emma. I appreciate it. The audience loved it. Brooklyn is a big fan. Vancouver. And last but certainly not least, Fresno, California. If you can go to Landscape, we can see more of your beautiful apartment. But thank you. Did you, virtual audience, how much did you love that?
Literally, so I relate to you so much. Like I can't even begin. You were great.
Oh, thank you. It's hard. There's no gay school, so we have to learn things on our own.
Yep, that's some true shit. And I'm from Chicago too, so I feel you.
Oh my God, hey, we love.
Hey.
Awesome. Thank you guys. Thank you, virtual audience. Emma, thank you so much. If they want to follow you, they can follow you at Emma Jane on Twitter, Instagram, Emma Jane Grams. Thank you so much for joining us. And I hope you're staying safe and staying well. And hopefully we'll see you on another episode soon.
Same to you. Take care.
Emma Jane, everybody. And now we would love to bring in our comedy panel. We have 3 incredible comedians from across the country. Your first comedian, I actually got to meet her in New York. She's now all the way on the other coast in Los Angeles, where it is still sunny and the weather is still nice. Give it up for Morgan Miller, everybody. Hello,
Morgan. What's up?
How you doing?
I'm good. I feel like that song was a good intro for me. I feel like you guys set that up pretty well. I think you guys nailed it. I was a definitely late comer outer. I didn't come out until I was like 25, so that girl's got me beat.
Oh yeah, I get. Well, what time do people normally come out now?
Well, now it's like my nieces are 13, and they're like, well, most people are bi in my grade. I'm like, what?
Yeah.
What? They're like, yeah, so and so has 2 moms, and I'm like, God damn it, you know what I mean? I'm like, if you knew the struggles I had, as just like, but I didn't know I was gay until I was gay. Till I kissed a girl.
Yeah, there weren't really gay kids at my high school. There were just a lot of people in musical theater.
Yes. Yeah.
We had a drama department.
That's the male version, and then the female version is sports. I was into sports. Big chalk. So it's the men in musical theater and the women who like sports too much. That's when
Yeah, now that there are LGBT clubs at school, I imagine the plays and the softball games are much worse.
Yeah, it's true. That's very true. That's very true. I loved that song, man. That's so funny.
And you look dressed up. I appreciate that.
I am dressed up. Thank you. I want to say it's for you and for National Lampoon. I do, but I can't say that in good faith. It is for my roommates, and I have gone a little bit crazy during COVID, but we had the idea, and everyone can do this at home. We're having theme nights and dress up nights as an apartment. It's my roommate's birthday, so tonight is formal wear. Ooh. So I've got my old lesbian vest coming out.
I believe that's called the Paula Poundstone.
Yeah. My icon. Paula Poundstone.
How do you feel about the fact that Howie Mandel might be the only comedian left after this? How does that make you feel?
I mean,
his moment.
Yeah. Someone's left. I don't know. If comedy's got to be made, just someone be left. That's what I say.
No, but I feel the craziness aspect. This is definitely I think we're in week 4 here in New York for us. And so you're starting to feel a little bit. Are you like, people are calling it like COVID brain? Are you starting to see weird shit?
Yeah. A lot of COVID brain happening. A lot of, I think people are, I have been calling it COVID brain, but people are horned up. People are really wound up. I think even more so just because we're trapped inside. I think like, they wouldn't be getting some anyways, but because we're inside, they're like, I gotta get some. And everyone's doing like Hinge dates over virtual Hinge dates. People are blowing
up. Are you on the apps? Are you apping it up?
I am not apping it up. Okay. I'm not. But I know a lot of my friends are, and then you go on Hinge dates, which I think is wild. I'm not opposed. I support fully. But then they go on 6 foot apart dates, but I think that might be over now. And then they'd fuck.
I like that. You're 6 feet apart, and then it's a big ramp. That's a very
yeah. Well, COVID brain, people are like, okay. I mean, can you imagine the sexual tension of someone that you were really into and you had to stay 6 feet apart? I can't.
Yeah, I think that was every generation except the last 5.
Yeah.
I think that's called the 1800s and previous.
Yes. So again, can't imagine, but our ancestors, God bless them.
I've seen not the Cruel Intentions with Sarah Michelle Gellar, but the one based on the actual French thing, and that a lot of social distance before just boning out of weird large dresses.
Yeah.
That gets 6 feet easily, those giant bone dresses.
Yes. Those alone gave you about good 3 or 4 feet away from somebody. Yeah. I can't imagine taking that off, man. I can't imagine. You can't get that off fast enough. Yeah. I'd be asleep before we got it off.
Are you doing any new hobbies? Have you picked up any fun activities?
Let's see. Have I picked up any? So I've been going a little bit. So I'm crazy. I don't drink, but I am getting into this caffeine-free Coca-Cola.
Whoa,
but,
that's almost Mormon-like.
Yes. So I don't do that. So I like to party and I like to go out and I like to dance and I'm like a really big partier, but I don't drink. So I've been working out a lot, but working out's like not enough for me. So like the working out has really upped its game, and now your girl is doing full-on parkour, and that's
a giant jump.
That is
jumping between buildings, parkour.
I mean, I'm jumping on rails. I'm doing stuff I'm doing stuff where they're like, don't get hurt and go to a hospital.
Right.
Because dangerous, and I'm like, we gotta jump on more buildings, babe. I gotta get my kick somewhere.
I like England is literally there was a news story where they're trying to tell people stop doing DIY involving power tools and sharp objects,
right?
Because if something happens, the hospitals are already overwhelmed. So in England, they're like, don't even like try to redo the siding on your house, and you're jumping between houses like a goddamn superhero.
Well, yeah, like a superhero or like a 15-year-old boy who like just got new like sneakers. You know what I mean? He's like, I got new sneakers and I'm gonna watch parkour videos. I've been watching parkour videos. I mean, it's so great. This is when I told my roommates, I was like, if I buy shoes for parkour, you got to take me. I got COVID. And I bought shoes.
Hey, well, you know what? After we raise money to get masks, we might have to do a GoFundMe for your hospital bill. So we'll
yes,
post it. We're gonna bring it back for the panel. Thank you so much for joining. I had no idea that COVID was turning into a 15-year-old boy obsessed with parkour. Horned up, doing theme nights, all the stuff.
Yes, that is it. COVID, I am a 15-year-old boy. Let's rock, let's sex, let's fucking parkour. Let's do it. Guys, follow me on my you can't see me do parkour on my stories on my Instagram.
Yeah, I am doing it. Miller 17. Thank you so much. We'll bring it back in for the panel.
I love you. Goodbye.
Love you. That was Morgan Miller. She's phenomenal. We have 2 more panelists. Joyelle Nicole has performed on tons of television shows. She performs all over the country when that's allowed. She is coming to us, I believe, from Brooklyn. Joyelle Nicole, everybody.
Here, what up? How y'all doing? Happy quarantine.
I like that. Some people, there's a big surge in people adopting pets like dogs and cats, and you said, fuck it, I'm going to be the cat.
I will be the cat. This is only because I was on a cruise ship.
Right. When were you on a cruise ship?
I was on 2 cruise ships in less than a month. I went
in recent history.
Yes, I got back on March 14th, baby, and on that cruise ship. Do you know Jean Grey?
Jean Grey from the X-Men?
Yes, well, Jean Grey the rapper. Jean Grey the rapper. Everybody, look her up. She's awesome.
Sorry for being extra white by going, oh, Jean Grey, you mean the comic book superheroine?
Yes, no. She's a rapper.
Oh, a rapper. I knew that. I know all the rappers. 50
Super black rapper.
He's great. J, one of the letters.
So we did a a musical on the ship. It was Cats 2, the Meowsicle. And she gave out little heads for us. So I was Whiskery Tiskery Toots was my character. And that's why I have
Cats 2 because did you see the movie Cats the movie?
Absolutely not. I hate cats. So I will not watch a movie about them.
I saw it in the movie theaters. It was one of the highlights of my life. It was a cultural experience that I wish everybody. It was so weird. Just when you thought the movie couldn't get weirder, Sir Ian McKellen, who's a knight,
he is
an Oscar or at least an Academy Award nomination, meowing and licking milk out of a bowl.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure he's into that kind of thing. You know, he's a wild man. I'm not. I won't watch that. That's not my thing. And also, how boring. You got all these fabulous gay artists, and I'm just a boring straight bitch. I'm mad. I wish I had, like, you know, something extra on my shit.
Well, do any of them have a monkey?
I got that monkey on the cruise ship.
It's a cruise monkey. Did you wipe it down?
Here's the thing. They called the people on the cruise ship the sea monkeys. And I had to tell them when I performed, I was like, hey, maybe don't call the black people monkeys. How about that?
That's a good piece of advice.
That's just from me to you. And I stole one of the monkeys off the ship. So now he's my monkey.
That's your reparations for that.
I'm getting reparations any way I can take them.
Yeah, fuck you. I'm taking the monkey. I like it.
I'll take a monkey.
And who are you quarantined with? Are you quarantined with anybody?
I'm quarantined in a brand new relationship.
How long how long did you start from starting dating to quarantining together?
March 1st, started dating. And then quarantined when everybody got quarantined. What, March 15th, 16th? Got back on the 14th and got quarantined on like the 16th.
Who initiated that conversation?
The conversation to be quarantined?
To be quarantined together.
I guess we was like, I guess we're doing this. Like, it was just kind of like I guess we don't want to be alone right now. So, yeah. It was.
I hope that goes better than Cats the movie.
Well, yes. It's already going better than Cats. We got great reviews. People love us. We're a very good-looking couple.
The CGI is not awkward and off-putting.
No, there's no cats involved at all. So it's fantastic. Just plastic monkeys.
I never understood the pitch of that movie at all, or the musical. Andrew Lloyd Webber is like, I'm going to do a musical about cats. And they're like, what's the plot? And he's like, no. Cats.
He said, no plot. It ran on Broadway for 40 years. So.
How? It's bananas.
Yeah, people like cats. Not me, but people.
Well, Joyelle, I'm going to bring you back for the panel. We have one more comedian to meet. Follow her at Joyelle Nicole. Thank you so much. And if you want to donate to a million masks, which is going to become a billion masks when Ben goes worldwide, it's Nat, Lamp, Mask. All the money goes to charity. We're trying to do our part, even if you have a couple of dollars and you can chuck it towards this. We're going to make sure that all goes to getting masks in the hands of the people who need them most, people who are on the front lines at hospitals, like the ones in New York City, which they desperately need it. So all of your help is super, super important. And finally, rounding out our panel, he's been on the panel before. I love having him as part of this show. Give it up for Joe Larson, everybody.
Hey, sorry. Hold on. I'm sorry. I was just doing a little light reading.
That seems crazy that you're the only one.
What's that has this book?
Yeah.
Well, Donald Trump put it out a little while ago. It's mostly about the thickness of scarves.
Yeah.
It's an incredibly thick book itself. Actually, he said several times, if you do not have a scarf, you can duct tape it to your mouth, and it will work as a scarf. I don't know why Ben is trying to get all of these masks for all these people when they're so thin. Because as our president,
I need more scarves.
Did you see how thin that mask was? I was watching this going, does this man not realize that the president of the only true free country in the world has told him that he is incorrect in his assessment and how to keep the people in the front lines healthy? I think what Ben should do is get rid of those masks. Go to Home Depot. You know how thick a 2x4 is?
Very thick.
2x4. Technically, it's exactly 2x4.
I heard a long rant on a musical, Cats, So I think people understand that I know nothing about woods.
True. Well, you do know a little bit about wood, but not the not the building blocks.
So speaking of Trump and stuff, has this whole coronavirus thing sort of changed your opinion about any elected officials?
Well, definitely. I feel like because you watch everybody is getting on the news saying we need to social distance, and nobody is. You go to Prospect Park in Brooklyn to Central. No one's staying far apart. Everybody's hanging out. We need to stop electing people based on their charisma and based on their education. We need single mothers. That's what we need. We need a woman to come on the television and with a wooden spoon and go, did I tell you to stay the fuck out of the park? Stay out of the park. Get out of the park. Go home. 5, I told you to go home. 4, 3, don't make me. We need somebody a little more aggressive. I'll tell you this. You know who I feel bad for in this whole coronavirus thing? I mean, of course, the people who are affected physically and their families, but I think more than anybody else, ISIS.
Really?
Yeah, well, because they tried to take over the world. They spent 7 years, and they took over, 2 countries? And then here comes coronavirus, and within 4 months, takes over the entire world. If you're ISIS, how bad do you feel? How bad did you fuck up?
Yeah, coronavirus is so small.
Oh, they didn't even try. Coronavirus was like, I guess I'll do it if nobody else is gonna. And ICE is like, we'll try. And they're like, that's adorable.
Yeah, that's how I feel about some comedians who are like, oh, I've never done stand-up. And then they get up there and you're like, are you fucking kidding me?
Yeah, coronavirus is the Michael Che of taking over the world.
I was going to say Pete Davidson, but we were still in the SNL family.
Both of them. It's the Pete Davidson and Michael Che. If those guys were a comedy duo.
Yeah, you see an 18-year-old kid walk in, and they're like, yeah, he's going to try some stand-up. And you're like, are you fucking kidding me?
Yeah.
Of comedy, and you can quote me on that.
I hope they put that in their bio somewhere. That'd be absolutely fantastic.
Do you like? I have a little bit of a man crush on both of them now. I think.
Well, yeah, but I have a thing about Chris Cuomo, the younger brother, because he got it right. He has COVID-19, and he went into isolation, and like 3 days later, he's like, I lost 18 pounds, and I'm like, you got to quit bragging. If I come out of here 20 pounds heavier, I consider that a win. The only time I stop stress eating is when I start stress drinking or stress masturbating. Those are my only 2 other options.
Yeah, he said he was. I was like, maybe one through details that encourage people to go to Prospect Park.
Yeah, exactly. I know the amount of people that are like 18 pounds. That in 3 days, people are out there licking doorknobs just trying to get that weight loss in, get that Corona body ready for summer. I mean, the beaches are going to be open soon.
Well, Joe, you might stick around. I'm going to bring the other comics in. I'll reintroduce Joelle. She's disappeared. It's a magic act.
Oh, she's a cat.
And Morgan, how you doing?
Good. What's up? Joelle, you're by far the most interesting person on this panel. I just want to say that.
Oh, Joelle,
yeah.
We're going to have to unmute you
because her mic's off, but
she's muted.
Hello, my
we saw it and I loved it. Joelle.
Thank you. I want a tutu and a Ruth Bader Ginsburg shirt.
So you have COVID, Bryn. You've really lost it, huh?
Yeah, I've been crushed. Just chilling in the house in tutus and cat ears.
With the guy you just fucking met.
Morgan, is that a new theme that you guys want to adopt for maybe your next theme night? Cats and tutus.
Okay, I'm in. Yeah, let me talk to the roomies. We'll do it.
So I wanted to have a couple of news stories that have been happening. Trump keeps advocating this malaria medication, even though there is no study that for sure demonstrates its efficacy. He keeps hawking it like some weird, like the 2-bit salesman that he is. Have you ever had bad medical advice or done a cure that may not be that proven?
Oh my God.
Well, my wife is a doctor, and it's really, so this is very comfortable to me. I understand this completely because I'll ask her often. I'll be like, my throat kind of hurts and I have this dry cough, and I'll be like, what's wrong with me? And she'll be like, you're emotionally unavailable. And I'm like, I don't know if you are understand what I was talking about. And she'd be like, yeah, and you don't pick up your socks. And I'll be like, I don't know if that's the appropriate treatment. So this is very comfortable for me. I'm sorry, what was that?
It's a $50 copay.
Oh my God, if it was that cheap, I'd be so happy. Are you kidding me?
I love that you're in a doctor's office right now.
That's her medical degree right there. And that's the book that she wrote right there. Yeah, 100%. No.
Oh my God.
Yeah, my computer is stacked up on her medical books. So my career is literally sitting atop her education. It is riding literally on her education.
That's beautiful.
I see. I told somebody tweeted, I forget who it was. They're like, female comedians, the men get doctors and Pete Davidson gets a Ariana Grande and the women trying to get a pile of sweatshirts to fucking get a doctor.
100%. Listen, I'm no dummy. You stick your dick in a pile of money. That's the only way to make it in this career.
Exactly. That's smart.
Yeah, when Tony says benefits, health benefits. Those are the benefits you should be aiming for.
Yeah, friends with benefits right there. Health benefits.
Yeah. Well, it's similar. My roommates, everyone got on unemployment here, so we're
yeah.
So, similar. Yeah, similar. I know, right? Give it up for unemployment.
That little $600 surplus, bitch. What?
More on unemployment than they did doing comedy before Corona.
Truly.
$600 a week. That's better than spot pay.
Yeah.
Depends
on you know how many sets you got to do.
You don't get a monkey with that, but $600, it's not bad.
That's a feature.
I do love. So you got that monkey on a cruise ship?
Yes.
Because most people are just getting infected, but you got a monkey. That's amazing.
We were chilling. We had a good old time. They had monkeys all over the cruise ships, and now they said that through my stand-up set, since I told them to stop calling Black people monkeys, they're going to stop calling everybody monkeys now.
That's nice. I mean, although I feel like they should just transfer it. I think they should go, Black people are not monkeys, but everybody else is.
Everybody else. All lives matter.
It's almost even more racist to be like, Black people aren't, but everyone else is.
Like, what? Monkey.
I'm sorry, what? I don't get to be a monkey? I don't get to...
I started talking about I looked like you had something to say.
I was gonna say, throw it on the gays. Just call the gays monkeys. We dance for you idiots anyways.
I watch.
Yeah. I don't mind being called it. Go for it. We'll take it on. I also speak for us. I speak for the entire gay community. So
I had a magician friend who used to do a trick with a monkey, and the monkey there would be children in the audience, and monkeys unfortunately love to furiously masturbate no matter how many children are in the crowd. And so he thought he would solve
like comedian.
He would
or comedian.
He made a
comedian.
Sorry. He made a monkey, and he thought the jumpsuit, this custom jumpsuit, would prevent the monkey from touching his junk. And the first night he tried that, the monkey ripped through the crotch of his jumpsuit and started furiously masturbating. So now not only was the monkey masturbating, but it was costing him a fortune. Then he built a hula skirt where the little hula things looked like monkey penises. So it just looked like the monkey was playing with the hula skirt. And he told me the whole story. And at the end of this story, I was like, why didn't you just get a female monkey? That seems like a really long walk. Masturbating monkey in your show.
Or monkey misogynist.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. You're saying a female monkey wasn't going to jerk off? Let's be honest. Come on.
Yeah. Morgan, it's just going to take her longer.
Then you got to get her a monkey vibrator, and you got to get her a monkey.
You got to put candles on. You got to put candles on. You got to
say nice things to the monkey. Tell the monkey she's beautiful.
Yeah. Put on blue is the warmest color.
That was the most aggressive sex scene I've ever seen in my life.
But pretty hot, right?
Very, very hot and also disturbing.
I'll be honest with you, true. Also, the fact that it was the first time they had sex and they did all of that is fun. Is actually fake. I watched it. I was like, "There's no way people know what they're doing here." Like they were trying to figure it out.
This is not virginity.
No, good God! Some of the stuff they were doing, I was like, I don't even know what that is, and I've been gay for like 5 or 6 years.
Yeah, legs was up here and shit.
Watching it, just taking notes.
Yeah, I'm taking notes.
I had to. Porn was what I was masturbating wrong until I saw porn.
No, how are you doing? The number of ways I can think of you doing it wrong is really
joystick, like an N64 controller.
Oh God.
I didn't know. Nobody taught me. Your dad doesn't sit you down and go, "Let me show you how it's done." Not if you have a good dad.
Only good dad.
One thing a good dad doesn't teach you.
Your uncle's supposed to do that.
Oh God! All right, if you'd like to donate money in order to put masks in the hands of healthcare workers, it's Venmo at @NatLampMask. I thought that was a good segue. You can drink. I said mask. And let's just do one more topic. This is pretty good. Stephen King changed his novel. He's been working on a novel. He was setting it in 2020, and then he realized none of what he's written would apply to this year because of coronavirus. So he had to reset the entire novel to 2019 before the coronavirus. So we have a horror novelist who had to reset it because times are too scary right now. If you had to make a horror movie set during Corona times, what would you do?
What would I do?
Well, first, I'm just going to say that I think everyone in Los Angeles is currently writing a pilot about COVID 2020. So that's covered. But it is funny that Stephen King's like, this is too scary. We got to go back. This is too scary.
Yeah.
When Stephen King is scared of something, shit's gone horrible.
Yeah. My horror movie is stand-up comedy on Zoom.
Have you done a Zoom show?
Yes. People keep asking me.
Oh my God. Joel, that is the perfect. It's screaming into a void of nothingness, and you're like, what have I done? What have I done with my life?
What am I doing? My boyfriend been working every goddamn day for 8 hours a day, and I'm smoking weed on the couch doing Zoom shows.
Joy, you know what? I'm going to give that the joke of the night. You did it. It's a completely arbitrary award. It means nothing and does nothing for you. But guess what? There's a fun little graphic. Joke of the night.
Yeah, I think that's very coveted, and I do think it does something for you. And I think you
better.
Congratulations.
I haven't left the house today, so thank you.
It's a big win.
Yeah. Joe, do you have any horror movie ideas?
I've been writing them. You know, I feel like this is the perfect time to adapt. You know, Jason, we could do all those movies, but just with a medical mask. I feel like I Know What You Touched last summer is a nice solid one. Get Out of Wuhan, and Friday the COVID-19. You know, I feel like there's a lot of opportunity out there.
Fuck it. You also get Joke of the Night.
Oh, man.
All right.
Take that back. I can give it out to more than one person.
Okay, well then if you give me one more shot, mine is just Blue's the Warmest Color sex scene on repeat for 2 hours.
Joke of the Night. Unbelievable. Unprecedented. Every comedian on the panel got a Joke of the Night. It's as if it means nothing and I can give it whenever I feel. Unbelievable. We're coming into the home stretch, our final game of the evening. This is a game called Who's Under That Mask? Because we are trying to raise money for getting masks in the hands of healthcare workers, which, by the way, please donate Venmo at @NatLampMask. So we're going to play a game called Who's Under That Mask? Who's under that mask? Who's under that mask? I don't know who's under that mask. That's a theme song that I definitely didn't just write right now.
Cool.
I can take that Joke of the Night away, Morgan. I can do it fucking fast.
Hey, look.
The rules of the game are simple. All you have to do is tell me who's under that mask. We'll give you an example. Here is the first one. Who is under that mask?
Tiger King fucker.
Absolutely not. Both you guys are wrong. That is very much Hillary Clinton as Tiger King.
It could be David Spade playing Joe Dirt. The answer is not Joe Exotic. It's a tiger wearing Joe Exotic's face, wearing a mask. That is the correct answer. Did not say I would play fair in a game that I made up for this broadcast.
I'm gonna win this.
All right, who is under that mask?
Melania.
That's pretty good.
It's Old Man Withers from the amusement park.
That's pretty good. Morgan, who's under that mask? Because that is clearly not a face. That is something not human. That is a mask of some sort.
It's a novel to Friday the COVID-13.
Yeah.
That's all. Just break my head. It's the novel.
The answer actually is a void of nothingness, where his heart and soul should be. That's what's under the mask. Brooklyn agreeing with me there. I appreciate you. We keep saying mask, so drink up, Brooklyn. The next one. Who is under that mask?
Oh.
My father.
I like that. That's an insight. I like any joke that requires you to specifically know what your dad looks like.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, look at me. You know what I mean? They're all the same. They all look the same.
No, I appreciate it. Joe, any guesses?
We represent the Lollipop Guild. It's him and Bloomberg and somebody else got together. It would be perfectly just the Lollipop Guild grown up.
Joelle, any guesses? Who's under that mask?
A dude who's touched too many young kids' balls and made them crawl.
Wow.
Well, why you got to bring that up again?
Hey.
We talked about this.
California, do you have any guesses?
Joel, you know my father?
Yeah, this is my literal dad.
Fresno, any guesses?
I love
your
that.
actual dad. Yes.
Yeah, like.
By the way,
actually.
Brooklyn loving that so much. I think Brooklyn and California have created a friendship, a virtual audience, no longer virtual, and if they follow Joelle's timeline, will be living together within the week. So, under that mask,
It's a corona arranged marriage.
it's obviously Anthony Fauci, but I made sure he was wearing a bunch of masks because we need this guy more than ever. Because
Yeah.
the freaking forward thinks scarves are better than masks.
Right.
Who is under that mask?
Oh, everybody knows this one.
Who is it, Joe?
Of course. I mean, this is Bill Withers. He died on Friday. So sad to lose him.
I like it. It's like a clock that's wrong only twice a day. Old Man Withers will eventually be the correct answer. Vancouver, Canada. Who is under that mask?
What my heart tells me Steve Irwin, and I can't explain.
That would be great.
Right?
Not the answer I expected. So you get the joke of the night.
Amazing.
Now, come on, Harrison.
It absolutely doesn't lose its value the more you use it. Unlike a mask, donate to Natlamp Masks. The answer is, of course, Sean Hannity, who's wearing the mask incorrectly. Let's fix this picture. Let's put the mask on him correctly. There we go. Exactly. What we
I was gonna say it's since he doesn't have a body, he's another kind of fleshlight.
Yeah. Yeah.
The first disaster were fleshlights outsold flashlights.
Yeah. I was gonna guess it was somebody who gives blowjobs for very low grade cocaine.
Yes.
Just a low grade.
Yes. COVID brains, not you know. COVID brains.
Very cheap cocaine.
Yeah.
Last but certainly not least, we have this man. He's wearing a mask that says 2024. Who's under that mask?
This one's sad.
This is Joe Biden. Everybody knows that.
Someone like Rose in Titanic who will never let go.
Morgan, who is it?
Steve Martin.
I was going to say Dave from Wendy's, but the answer is Bernie Sanders.
Ugh.
And last but certainly not least, who is under this mask?
Mm-hmm. Well, they come to your house once a year. They leave things around that shouldn't be around. They make you sick, and they make you they make you fatter and diabetic. So I think there's only one true choice to this. We're gonna go with definitely Santa Claus.
Joelle, this mask. I don't know if it's an N95, but I do think it will protect you a little bit. It's better than a scarf.
Did you ask me a question?
Oh yeah, who's on it?
Okay. Kellyanne
Conway. Game we've been playing.
Kellyanne Conway. Kellyanne Conway.
Kellyanne Conway. A better guess. Morgan Miller, bring us home. Who's under this mask?
That's me on my next Zoom stand-up.
Nice.
Right.
The answer is, unbelievably, the Pope. The Pope is under that mask. And that has been who is under that mask, everybody. Panelists, thank you so much for playing. If you'd like to help real people who need masks, donate. Venmo at NatLampMask. 100% of what you donate to us, whether it's $1, whether it's $1,000, whether it's $1 million, donate that to National Lampoon, Nat Lamp Mask, and we will make sure that all goes to 1 million masks. 1 billion masks. It's the COVID Foundation. We're going to be making sure that masks get to healthcare workers. Joe, Morgan, and Joelle, thank you so much for taking part. We can put up, there's Joelle's Twitter, Joelle Nicole, Morgan Miller, 17, and of course, Joe Larson's. What about Joe? At comedian Joe Larson. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. We really appreciate it. And of course, a huge thank you to our virtual audience. Fresno, give it up for yourself. Vancouver, give it up for yourself. And Brooklyn, thank you so much.
Yeah.
I love that cute little animal.
I stole it.
Nice. I like it. We're ending the show by admitting to a crime. Thank you, Brooklyn. Thank you, Fresno. Thank you so much. Vancouver, if you'd like to join our virtual audience, go to office@nationallampoon.com. If you want to follow me on Twitter or on Instagram, it's at Harrison Comedy. That's right down there, pretty easy, at Harrison Comedy. And finally, one more time, a huge thank you to everybody who helped us pull off this broadcast. We got Evan Shapiro, the president of the National Lampoon, Brendan Tambori, who's also in the house, my girlfriend who put together the slideshow that let Who's Under the Mask happen. She's locked in that room and it's definitely real. And of course, to Ben, his organization, the COVID Foundation, the program, 1 million masks for New York City and 1 billion masks worldwide. We want to give that guy as much money as we can in order to support such a great cause. So please donate at NatLampMask. Thank you to everybody who donated already. Thank you to everybody who watches this broadcast because it'll be up live on all of our channels. Thanks to Eddie for that applause. My name, one more time, Harrison Greenbaum. This has been National Lampoon Quarantine Live every Tuesday and Friday, 9 p.m. EDT, 6 p.m. PDT. That is the Venmo to raise money for masks. You guys have been amazing. Thank you so much. And we'll see you here on Tuesday night.